Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Uh, so, one thing I have noticed on my journey lately is really the importance of dialing down the mental game. You know, call it your inner game. I call it the mind, the final frontier. Because for the past 3+ years, I've been working on improving my health after having some serious issues. I talked about that in other videos, but I've been doing this 80-10-10 diet for a long time now. I think today, just 10 months fully raw. Persian cucumbers, so good. Like, seriously. Like Doritos in cylinder form for me now. But I've still had issues. I've still had GI issues that I came to the diet with. And they've slowly gotten better and better and better and better and better. But for a long time, they hit a plateau. Even when I was eating fully raw, I would still get backed up and still have intestinal pain from time to time. And I've got the food combining really dialed. I've been getting better and better about the sleep. But the one thing that has really helped me, I would say, just in the past couple of months, is really kicking up my meditation game. I mean, I'm trying to do it every day. It usually comes out to at least 4 times a week. And I found that that just has an amazing effect. And I think one of the major causes is just the effect it has, meditation in general, on the nervous system. To give you a crash course, you basically have this thing called the autonomic nervous system, which controls all the things that you don't control constantly. All your heartbeat, all your organs and glands, your GI tract, causes your pupils to dilate when you get excited, causes that like sudden fear when a car pulls out in front of you. All those reflexes caused by your autonomic nervous system. You have the sympathetic and you have the parasympathetic. Sympathetic is your fight or flight. That's what's going to, have all those crazy unconscious reflexes that you can't control, like, when a car pulls out in front of you, or you're, walking down the block in the middle of the night and you see something scurry across your path and freak out. That's a sympathetic. And just stress of day-to-day life will constantly kick that and have the body secrete adrenaline, and it's a fight or flight mechanism. It's supposed to be only triggered rarely, but in the modern world, it kind of gets triggered chronically, and that's what we call stress. And then you have the parasympathetic, which is the counterpart, is the rest and digest. And I found that meditation really activates the parasympathetic nervous system. So one of the things is that the sympathetic nervous system inhibits the gastrointestinal tract. So it stimulates your skeletal muscles, all your outside muscles, and your heart to beat faster, and your muscles primed with blood so you're ready to fight or run away. But to do that, it deactivates the GI tract because energy-wise, the GI tract is very expensive to run, especially if you're eating like cooked dead food and animal products and processed food and junk that really has no business being in there in the first place. When you're eating clean food, it still takes work to move it through the system, but less work, but it still takes quite a bit of work, sometimes upwards of 25 to 30% of the energy that your body expends, because it basically has to squish stuff all the way down through a long series of tubes. You have something like 36 feet of intestines in there, maybe more. I lost track, but it's several times your body height, and that's a lot of work. And so to conserve energy for the vital things like fighting and flight, running away, it needs to shut that down to conserve that energy. Okay, we're not going to do that right now. We're going to, fight this wildebeest or whatever is attacking you in a, paleolithic kind of sense. So when you have a lot of sympathetic stimulation, i.e. stress, the GI system just doesn't push things through, and things start getting backed up in there because nothing's moving because, hey, energy is being used elsewhere for more critically important things. And the body says, once the stress goes away, then we'll deal with that. And this can lead to things getting backed up in your system. Well, if you're not digesting your food, well, bacteria are going to start to digest it because, hey, it's sitting there and it's free. And you're going to get things like gas and pain, and you're going to have constipation because things just the assembly line is just not moving on. But the thing is that the parasympathetic nervous system stimulates GI. So when you're doing things like meditation and getting enough rest and having good relationships with people and just generally doing things to improve your overall mental happiness, you're not going to have as much sympathetic stimulation. You're going to have more parasympathetic stimulation, and your whole GI tract is going to run better. And that's what I've seen. I'm having just much more on schedule elimination, no more pain, and just generally feeling way better GI-wise. I'd say I feel like I'm like 95% of the way there, like the light's at the end of the tunnel. And I'm really stoked, and I just wanted to pass that along, especially if you're still having GI issues and you've been on a clean diet, whether that's like raw tofu or fully raw 80-10-10 or just whole foods plant-based, something like that. If you're still having GI issues, I would say the mental game is like the final frontier for me. It's like I spent so long working on the physical that I kind of neglected the mental. I didn't realize how well I didn't have that nailed down. I mean, there's always room to grow, but I had like so much room to grow. And when you do that, you can close a big gap pretty easily, and I'm seeing really good results from that. So I just wanted to kind of put that message out there and say, work on your mental game as well as your physical. Health is not all about what you put in your face hole. There's many other facets, and I'm experiencing that firsthand. I just want to pass that on to you guys, and I hope you find that useful.